Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin, and I know it's never gonna end.
Well, it's that time again. After being judged by Santa as to our naughty or niceness, we console ourselves by celebrating the new year. And we celebrate by doing three things that experience has shown are bad for us: overeating, spending too much, and making New Year's resolutions. I'm Rick Green, and I want to know, why bother making New Year's resolutions? Why do I make New Year's resolutions? I don't have a great track record. I don't know anyone who does. Now, in theory, making New Year's resolutions is a wonderful thing. In theory, setting goals is key to success at anything, or so successful people tell me. And the resolutions that we make at the dawn of January can be noble: improving my health, starting a new career, building financial stability, breaking a bad habit, traveling to a dream destination, expanding my mind by achieving a meaningful goal. All good stuff. New Year's resolutions are a commitment to be who we truly want to be, to do what we know is important and meaningful to us personally, in theory. So why do so many of us abandon our resolutions or even totally forget them? I mean, most people don't even bother making resolutions anymore. And sometimes the reasons we falter are obvious. We dream too big, knowing deep in our heart of hearts, which is located near our spleen of spleens, that the goal that we've pledged to achieve is improbable or impractical or impossible. Let's look at those three. Improbable. Yes, I'm giving up smoking, drinking, all caffeine, meat, dairy, farting, and social media as of tomorrow. Yeah, good luck with that. Overcommitting, all or nothing thinking, I know that one. Vowing to do something dramatic, a turning point by doing something that you have never been able to accomplish year after year, even though you've made numerous annual resolutions to do that. Resolving to do something that no human has ever managed to accomplish in the history of New Year's resolutions. I mean, it sounds wonderful. It sounds awesome in theory. Then there's impractical. I'm going to lose 280 pounds this year. Well, if you're trying to get healthy, that kind of goal may be harmful. Losing weight too quickly triggers something called the famine response. And what happens is your body will gain it all back and then some, thinking, wow, that sudden shortage, there must have been a famine, and therefore I better have a little extra in case there's another famine, even though the grocery store is jammed. But that's a topic for another video. Then there are the impossible resolutions. Now, my resolution may sound possible when I first made it, but then it might become impossible due to circumstances. Like, okay, so say I set a goal that's inspiring, perhaps feeling out of shape. I commit to running a marathon in September. Okay, half marathon. Right now, I'm really only running to the bathroom in McDonald's, and so I start training. I'm going to start in February, which turns into March, which becomes May, but I do start. I eventually start running, and a little further every day until I'm achieving a whole mile. And then in July, tragedy, I sustain a bad injury like a shin splint or a pulled fibular muscle or debilitating hamstring contusion, bad hamstring contusion. I don't know, whatever they are. I don't know the injuries. I hate running. But I can't walk for 6 weeks, let alone run. So being sensible, I have to let the goal of the half marathon. Actually, I was going to do a whole marathon, but I set it aside in abeyance until next year. And then here's the weird part. I actually do the opposite. Well, next year I'm really going to get in shape. So this year I could eat donuts and get more out of shape. So running the half marathon will be an even greater triumph. Yeah, I made all of these mistakes. In the past, when I did keep a resolution and actually reach a goal or improve my situation in one way or another, what actually helped was having clear, specific, measurable goals with a date or an outcome, with deadlines, milestones to stay on track along the way. I can also look back and see hundreds of clear goals that I set and I never achieved them. So sometimes clear goals help, But I'm going to suggest something different. Maybe not always. To my surprise, I've also had some success in the last few years by creating a very broad, a very comprehensive or overarching objective, one that I can achieve in any number of ways, despite, say, having an injury or another circumstance or some unexpected obstacles. Those don't stop me. And I learned this from a very successful woman. She was an author, a leader, amazing lady. And she had a simple mantra. At the end of every year, I will be in better shape than I was at the start of the year. It's something she sort of committed to when she, I guess, was about 50, and she'd been sticking with it, reversing the aging process. That was her goal. What a great goal. And that had been her resolution for at least a decade. The year I met her, she had set a goal of being able to do a cartwheel for the very first time in her life in her 60s. She'd never done it as a child, never managed. She said she was clumsy, and she set a goal, worked carefully through it, got some advice and training and coaching, I guess, and she did it. She was doing cartwheels in her 60s. And I was really inspired by that, not just maintaining my health or slowing the aging, but actually being healthier. How? Well, by taking the stairs instead of elevators, not ordering fries, or, okay, not every time, parking far away from wherever it was I was going, the mall or wherever, so I got in extra steps getting there. And of course, brisk walks, then visiting a gym, stretching while waiting for the stove, kettle or microwave, cat pose, cow pose, cat pose. Even I got to the point of, I won't have a second helping. My wife was shocked. And that's the cool thing about having an overarching goal, is there's so many different ways you can achieve this throughout the year. Eating more vegetables, Zumba, drinking less or not at all, running the marathon or half marathon or a quarter of a marathon. They all fall under this one broader goal, which is better health. Or in this case, which is even more inspiring, getting younger every year rather than older. Now, the beauty of creating this broader goal, which was really the ultimate goal behind so many of my earlier resolutions, is that if you do splint your shin or find an entirely plant-based diet involves learning a lot about nutrition and you're really busy at the moment, whatever it is, well, the goal of better health isn't abandoned. If something didn't work for me, I wasn't defeated. I didn't abandon my goal of better health, of being younger. My efforts weren't a waste. They were stepping stones. And I wasn't working towards my goal or achieving my resolution only when I was training for the marathon and then ended up being derailed. If that's what happened, I never would enter a marathon. But anyway, whenever I had an opportunity to do something or choose something that was better for me in the long run, I could choose it. Little steps every day, little steps. Having this overarching goal opened my eyes to opportunities. I was alert for them, and I could make progress all through the day, every day, in dozens of small ways. Yeah, let's go for a quick walk. Progress. I found myself doing new things, trying things, like saying, just a small piece of pie, please. That was hard. I kind of tried anything and everything, sampling different practices. Some I kept up, yoga a few times a week, yes. Some I did not. Riding my bike, no. And to my delight, a couple of things I dabbled in became regular habits. Actually going to the gym, surprisingly restorative, gradually eating less meat and dairy to the point where I'm 99% vegan. Less caffeine and less, and now I'm off caffeine for the first time in probably since I was 11. When the gym closed to the pandemic, we started taking brisk walks, half-hour walks. The result? Well, for 3 years running, I was in better shape in December than I had been back in January of that year. My blood work came back better and better. This year, a confluence of circumstances, both global, you may have heard of those ones, and local, has challenged me, and some things have slipped. I'm still in way better shape than I was a decade ago, but I don't know if I am a year ago. I've definitely put on another 4 or 5 pounds. That's okay. I will repeat my resolution to be healthier physically and mentally this December 31st. I will renew my vow. It's a goal I can achieve every day in ways big and small. And it is so motivating to know that I have proven to myself I can do this, and I'm doing it every day. If I don't feel like yoga, well, there's other things I can do. So I offer this as a suggestion. It's worked for me. If it appeals to you, try it. Either way, Happy New Year. I'm Rick Green. Do follow me at Rick Wants to Know. You can subscribe to our Friday Funnies, and you can become a patron, because it is our patrons who make this video and all these videos possible. Do like, share, comment, all of that helps, and look into becoming a patron. As I say, it's wonderful. There's all kinds of goodies and benefits, webinars, and other exclusive. The chat rooms are amazing, and you could even have a say in what the next video is about. We're always looking for suggestions from our patrons. So if you've got ideas or something you want to know about, well, guess what? Rick Wants to Know. That's why it's called Rick, even though Rick is not, it's actually the patrons. There you go.